Hello everyone, my name is FD Singh and today I'm going to be giving you a first impressions review on the new gacha game that just released a few days ago, Server and Blood. Let us begin. Silver and Blood is a gacha game released a few days ago. I don't think it's been a week yet since this game has been released, and I've been playing this game since launch. So, what is Silver and Blood? Silver and Blood is a post apocalyptic, very European vampire team esque gacha game. Very vampire theme RTA, if I were to describe it. This game reminds me heavily of the gacha game King's Raid. King's Raid is a gacha game I played a long time ago, and it was my favorite gacha game ever. This game very much feels very similar to it. So, before we begin this review in proper, let's go over some of the themes or a preview of the story of the game. So, you are a Bloodborne. A Bloodborne is essentially a vampire, but not technically a vampire. In this game, Dracula exists, but Dracula is the legend, is a myth, right? Compared to like a dragon. Right? All Bloodborns are technically vampires, but they are not vampires. Dracula is the only vampire. So in this game, you take control of this little handsome chap here, Noah Nevernight, the silver-haired heretic. Noah is a very special Bloodborne. There's only four people like him in the story. We call them Moon Blessed. These characters hold special ability in the game. Your task in this game throughout the story is to find the other Moon Blessed and awaken and find the lost city, right? You are taken to the Bathor family and you journey with them to find the other Moonblast, see if they can cooperate with you and find and awaken the lost city, the homeland, the motherland, right? So as you can see, this game has 2D animations for their characters, and the designs of these characters are exquisite. I really, really love. Let's go over some of them. Let's go over Bella. So this game has EN and JP VAs. I've never tried the EN VA, but the JP VAs are exquisite. They feature some of the highly rated or well-known names in the Japanese VA community. They are really, really good. So from the 2D designs alone, you can tell, yes, the art style is really nice. And the women in this game are very well endowed, but also there are some varieties to them, right? You have characters like Edina, where she's very scantily clad, or you have characters like Bella, where she's wearing a proper dress for the occasion, and you have characters like Darcius. Darcius is badass. I really love the her style, her design here. It's very rare in gacha games where women are fully clothed, unless you play Wuthering Waves with Zani. Generally, a lot of characters in gacha games either look like Otavia here or kind of like Edina here. But there's not just women here, there are also men. And there are also men in this game. And the first one, other than your main character, you will see the second one you will see is Kane. Very tasteful. Right? We also have another character here, Augustine. So it's not just the women that are sexualized, even the men are a little bit. Even the men are. So this game features both 2D and 3D designs for their characters. Probably tell who that is by the VA alone, right? So they hire some really, really top tier VAs for this game, especially on the JP side. So, like I said, this game features both 2D and 3D designs for their characters, right? The 3D designs in this game very much doesn't hold up to the 2D designs, but this is something that the developers are already aware of. And the survey that you could take very early on in the game, and one of the sections of improvements that you can suggest to them is the quality of the 3D models, right? This game released a few days ago, and one of the things that piqued my interest is that they refer to this game as an open beta. Right here, they refer to this game as an open beta instead of a full release. So, my opinion, I think they're doing this game as both an open beta and a full release, right? So they're going to improve the game beyond what we see right now. So, what is the game like? What is the game like? So this game is an RTA. So what does that mean, right? It means that basically, whenever you place your units down, they're going to act without you doing anything, right? They can act. They do their own skills without you having to do anything. It's not a turn-based game where if you don't do anything, the character just won't or reflect that they won't do anything, right? But in this game, even if you set it on a manual, the characters will still be able to do stuff. They will still able to proc their passives and their special uh, gimmicks, even if you don't do anything. All you are really doing as the player is choosing when to use their ultimates. So this is the base menu of battle. Right? So you choose five out of your roster to engage in combat. A few things to keep in mind is that each character, right, has different roles. Some, like Ionia here, is more of a support, a healer, while some, like Bella here, is a summoner. Okay, if you look at the icons down here, right, the blood moon icons here, you can see that each character, right, is categorized on either the full moon, the almost full moon, and then the crescent moon. This system is used throughout the game and is a very pivotal part of the game. Essentially, what happens is we will start the battle. Essentially, what happens is throughout the battle, you can use your ultimates here. Once you use your ultimate, uh, the moons will start to light up. Once all moons have lit up, you enter the blood moon state. In this state, all your ultimate abilities are discounted, so they cost one less than what they would normally. So the ultimate abilities in this game are actually really, really nice to watch. Right, so let's go to one time speed and enable your animation. Right. So like I said, if you don't do anything, the characters will still do things for you. They will still attack. Here is the ultimate for Octavia, right? Very nice, right? They have a blend of 2D and 3D in the game. So even if I set it to manual, right, they will still do their basic attacks and they will still be able to perform their passives in the game, even if you don't do anything. So it's not turn based. It's an RTA where even if you don't do anything, even if you're passive, something will still happen. So I very much appreciate this fact. Right? I really like how they mix the 2D and, like I said, the 3D models very much doesn't hold up to their 2D ones, but I think they can improve the game further on. Now, exactly what do characters do? Well, the characters in this game are your vassals, right? You have three different categories. You have your SSRs, which are seen here with the red border. You have your SRs. Right? Let's show your main character here, Noah. Noah is an SR, right? Right? These are essentially your 4 stars. And lastly, your rares, your 3 stars. You're donated by the purple background. Okay? So in this game, your characters have your standard equipment. There are 4 slots that each character can equip, and they have their skills here that you can upgrade. So out of each character has 4 skills, each doing something different, right? You have your basic attack here. You have your talent, which is all character specific, but they are specific to the gimmick of the characters. Next, you have your passive, the characters' passive abilities, which you can upgrade. Lastly, their ultimate ability. So that we've gone over what the characters do and what you can expect from the characters, let's go over the most important part of the game. That is the pulling, the gacha of the gacha game. In this game, in Silver and Blood, your gacha is called Embrace. Essentially, what you're doing is you're summoning the memories. You're giving life to the memories of your fallen allies or enemies, right? So, in the current time, right now, the 28th of June, we just got our first featured 5-star unit, featured SSR, right? That being Lamia. We also have the common Blue Dawn banner and the Celestial Concerto, the perennial banner. We have a special one here called Crescent Moon, but this is very much for the whales only. Let's go over the perennial Celestial Concerto banner first. This is essentially your friendship banner. You have this resource here called Dusk Veiled Ribbon, which you get from giving likes to your friends. Right? Giving likes to your friends will give you perennial bonds, essentially, which you would use to spend on the Celestial Concerto. Right? You can get your SSRs and your SRs or rares in banner. The Crescent Moon banner is primarily for the whales, as the only way to pull in this banner is to purchase with in real life money. But the caveat is that every 10 pull is guaranteed 1 SSR vassal. This is your standard banner, right? Your common Blue Dawn banner. Right, this is where you're going to be spending most of your pull currency. So, in this game, you have your Soothing Embrace, which is the pulling currency needed to pull on this banner, and the limited banner has a different kind of currency. Let's go over the Blue Dawn first, right? The Blue Dawn, once you start pulling, right, is nothing special, but once you reach 40 total pulls, you unlock what is called Altar of Invocation. Essentially, what this is that you choose the characters you lose your 50-50 on. I will explain that in a little bit, right? So you choose which characters you want to lose to, right? I don't have these characters yet, so I will choose these characters and acapella because I want more dupes, right? So you choose who you want to lose your 50-50 to, so you can either bolster your roster or get more dupes. Right, so I just mentioned 50-50, right? So this game has a 50-50 system. But the 50-50 system in the beginner banner works a little bit differently. All right, so your pity in the standard banner, there really isn't any pity. There is no pity in the standard banner. You're going to get a lot of 5 stars. And what 5 stars you're going to be getting very much depends on who you choose in the Altar of Invocation. Right? So if there's a character you're looking for, put it in the Altar of Invocation, and then whenever there's an SSR, it will be one of either 15 of these characters here. Where the 50-50 actually takes place is in the limited banner. So the limited banner has a pity of 60 pity. right? 60 PD. If there are no vast SSR vassals obtained within 59 consecutive heralds, which is 59 pulls, the next herald will guarantee an SSR vassal. Now, whether that be the vassal Lamia will depend. So, the way the drop or the losing of the 50-50 works is like this. Whenever you obtain an SSR, there's a chance that you can either be a Lamia, there's a chance that you can either be Lamia, or if you lose the 50-50, it can either be a what we call common ancestral vassal. Common ancestral vassals are essentially vassals that are way stronger than your standard characters, right? For example, Limin here. Limin is a transcendent, as she is an ancestral vassal, right? She's much more powerful than, let's say, Mass, right? So when you lose a 50-50, you can either be one of these characters here, like one of these characters here, or it can be your featured vassal Lamia. So how many pulls do you need to roll to do a temple, right? In this game, one pull is 300 moon tears, and a temple is 3,000 moon tears, right? That may seem like a lot, but this game basically the scaling is good. The scaling is good, I'll say. The scaling is good. Right? So you won't have really that much of an issue getting pull currency. All right. So as you've probably seen just now, there is a lot of SSR characters here, and there's a purpose for that. You see, whenever you pull on a banner, you get what's called fragrant residue. Fragrant residue is used in the shop redeem. Here, you're going to be spending your fragrant residue to get more dupes of your characters. This game very much heavily incentivizes you to get more dupes of your characters. So, what do these dupes actually do? Dupes in this game work very differently. They work similar to, I think, in a Thea restart, where the dupes don't unlock new passive abilities, but instead all they do is give you an increased stats, and more importantly, they increase the level cap of the characters. So at base, SSR can only level up to 80. With one dupe, it goes to 120. With two dupes, it goes to 160. The max is 200. The max is level 200. So that's all the dupes do. And so you're very much heavily incentivized to get dupes in this game. As you can see, there are a lot of SSR units for you to use. Whether this is a good system or a bad system, it very much depends on you, the player. Right? So, what do you think? Is this a good system or is it a bad system? So, now you're going to be questioning. Thinking, I have a lot of SSRs, but how do I level them up? How is the resource acquisition in this game? How am I going to keep up my main roster and the new characters I get? Well, this is where the transfusion system comes into play. The transfusion system is essentially a level sync. What you do is you choose five characters and you put them on this tree here, right? So, the five characters in this tree, right, you can level them independently of one another. Okay, next, you can choose as many characters as you can fit and put them down here in the groups. These characters now cannot be leveled independently. Instead, their levels will be synced to the lowest level character on the tree. So this character is level 60, everyone else is over level 60. Right? So everyone down here will follow this character here. If this character here is 80 and it is the lowest level on the tree, then everyone else will sync up to level 80. So this is how they balance the fact that there are a lot of SSR units. The only thing that isn't shared is the skill, the level of the skills of each character. that you must enhance yourself independently of one another. It is a system similar to Nikkei. If you ever played that game, it's the first time I ever seen this system is in Nikkei, right? So getting more slots costs you in your pool currency, right? But changing characters is free, but they have a 4 hour cooldown. All right, that basically is the gist of the gacha system and the characters. So your resource, where are you going to get it? All right, it's something very special about this game. There is no stamina system in this game. There is no stamina system in this game. Usually, your stamina system will be shown up here, but there is no stamina system. So, how are you meant to do things? Well, everything that you can do here is either free, infinite challenge, or is limited. There's a daily limit. Let's look over here. This is your ritual tribute. Essentially, this will accumulate throughout the day, and whenever you want, you can collect it. So this is where the bulk of your resources are going to be. Right? An extra sermon is essentially your refresh. What it does is it gives you, I believe, the max amount that you can get. Now, without reducing the total you have here, right? The first one of the day is free. Everything else you must use your full currency, which will then further get higher and higher and higher. So you just press collect, and this is where you get your resources, right? So what is your day to day going to be looking like? Well, today that we go to the Lost Courtyard. Here we have 5 modes. Let's go over the Blood Arena. Your Blood Arena is your PvP mode. In PvP, everyone is automatically level 200. All your characters are max level or max duped. And in PvP, you cannot control anything. So it's completely auto. Completely auto. What do you get from PvP? Well, you can get a character. You can get a character and their dupes. There's also materials to upgrade your characters. Okay, that's basically it. Next is your Infinite Abyss. The Infinite Abyss is an infinite tower game mode. You've probably seen other gacha games. Get increasingly more difficult. Very simple. All you get here is your pool currency and some money, some soli. Next, your Dutchman's Revenge. Dutchman's Revenge gives you artifacts, which can help boost your roster in different ways. The first one you get is your Philosopher's Stone, which gives you 10% crit rate, right? You can either choose one person or you can choose someone else to bear this artifact. The second one is for summoners. And for summoners. So progression through this is going to be very important for the progression of your account, as some characters will get more boosts in this mode. Tomb of the Fallen. So Tomb of the Fallen is limited to 3 times per day. 3 times per day. And this mode is where you're going to be getting your equipment. You're going to be getting your equipment from this game mode, but you are limited to getting it 3 times per day. So whichever one you can score the highest, you usually, quick slay. You get finish it all very quickly. Next, Time War Mausoleum. Time War Mausoleum is the game mode where you get your material to enhance the skills of your vassals. This can be done pretty much infinitely. Right? Pretty much infinitely, but the rewards can only be claimed up once per day, up to the highest floor that you can achieve. Right? So currently, I've completed up to floor 25, so I get these rewards. But if you can go further, you get even more rewards. So this game mode is essentially a roguelike, right? A roguelike tower defense where you have a portal behind you, and your task is to prevent 10 enemies from going through that portal. I say a roguelike because throughout the game mode, you're going to be getting items, right? These items will first come in sealed forms. Once you get their corresponding materials, you can then evolve them into unique relics that will give enhancements to your characters that you choose. And your achievements here in the achievements tab, you get this time-worn compass. This is used to increase your talent tree, giving you more stats for your characters during the Times Worn Mausoleum game mode. So this is where you're going to be gated most of the time, right? So there is no stamina system, but there's still a form of gate of content gatekeeping. One of the only ways that you can go ahead of your peers is, get this ritual to full and then extra sermon 10 times per day. It gives you your resources to upgrade your characters. Next, you have your dailies and weeklies. Dailies are, same. They give you 100 full currency per day. They also give this little rare shards here. Weeklies give you 300 and one pull. Your chapter missions and your achievements. Okay, let's go into the inventory. There's something special that they give you through your dailies and weeklies. They give you these shards, your perfect shards and your rare shards. Once you've accumulated 50 of these shards, for the perfect shard, you get a random chance to get any of the SSR vassals seen here. The rare shards, you can get either an SSR vassal or an SR vessel. All right, and you can actually purchase these from the store. Once if you go to shop, you can actually purchase them here. You can purchase a rare 5 rare shards here. All right. So, like I said, this game very much heavily incentivizes you to get a lot of premium units, a lot of premium units for your teams. So this very much is the gist of Silver and Blood. So far, I've been playing this game pretty much daily since it came out, and I'm very, very pleased with my experience. I really like the way they do their combat. I like the diversity in the characters. I very much enjoy the way they handle things. Right? I like the fact that there is no stamina system, and I also enjoy really that a lot of characters, while you can just leave them on auto, you want to challenge higher difficulty levels. Right? You're very much incentivized to do them manually, and you have to be very creative in how you approach your encounters. Or you can do everything on auto if you want to have a much easier time. You need to go on manual sometimes. So this game is developed, I believe, by Moon 2. If you ever heard that name, then you know that this company is not the brightest, right? A lot of people were very much adverse to playing this game due to Moon 2. I am not very much familiar with this developer, but from what I see, yeah, I could be very worried for this game. And it is a shame. This game very much has a lot of potential. A lot of potential. Right? This game is different from your standard Arknights, Tower Defense, your standard Genshins, Wuwa, ZZZ, HSR, right? It's a very different type of gacha game that I would love to see succeed in this space. I hope that the reputation of the developers are just hearsay, right? And I hope that they can improve on their reputation so that this game could last. Because this game, I can see very much having a lot of potential. I can see a lot of potential in this game. So that has been my thoughts on this game. I would like now to move the discussion on to you all in the comments below.